Hey guys, what's up? Jared here, Dex and Dice, ramblings of an LGS owner, and just a little quick video here. I've got a whopping 15 minutes before I open the doors, but just a quick video. Was thinking about this, and it's a very unpopular opinion, but here we go, and I can already kind of hear the clicky clack of the, you're wrong, but and I've touched on this in other videos. I just think it's like a refresher thing that needs to be done. Anyways, your collection is not worth what you think it is. It's not worth what, Manabox might tell you or TCG Player or any of that stuff. And like I mean that in the best way possible. Just from doing this for so long, even before the professional setup here, um, I've been in and out of this little card game and stuff since like 94, 95. I have sold my own collection. Like, if you want to count the collection I had to start this store, probably 5 or 6 times, easy, you know? So, like, I understand from your aspect of, like, well, shit, this kind of sucks, but, like, also operating with the understanding from y'all's side that you know right off the bat that you're not going to get 100% of what the little piece of paper or digital format tells you that your collection is worth. If you're lucky, like, well, let me rephrase that. Not if you're lucky, but you should set your expectations to be half of whatever it shows you. Like, if you have a $5,000 collection, set your expectations at 2,500. You know, it's reasonable. That's where most places will start at, is 50%. I don't care who you are or what you say. Most places are going to start out at 50%. And of course, if it's a collection that's worth the time and effort, if there are key, like, cornerstone pieces in that collection, if it's hard to find singles or whatever, yes, in those scenarios, you will get more than 50%, okay? Because I can hear you guys out there being like, I wouldn't settle for less than 80 or 90% of value. And, like, that's cool. Good luck. You're going to have to canvas a crap ton of Facebook groups and other groups and dealing with, I don't know, 9 or 12 different people, fielding conversations, people ghosting you, just a whole bunch of people yanking your chain and all that good stuff. A huge headache, you know, to get that 80 or 90% most times. Yes, there are unicorn scenarios out there where that does exist. There are people out there who have already gone through all that previous BS and have a locked in person that maybe they can get that kind of value with. But most people, you're not going to do that. You're not going to get that. So set your expectations at half of whatever it tells you, okay? And again, if you have sought after pieces or whatever, yes, you can probably get more. Now, there's a small exception to this, and that would be like your backpack vendors and stuff like that you see at cons and all. Like, they can give you 80% or 90% of whatever of the value because, like, they have no overhead. They don't have this or employees or anything like that. It's literally just them, and no shade. I'm just explaining why they can offer that, because they usually don't have anything, no real skin in the game aside from just doing the transaction in other places and stuff too. Like, that might be their only gig, is just going to cons and being like a flipper or whatever, So, like, they don't have much of an overhead to worry about, so they can give you that 80, 90%. And sometimes even places like mine, or, like, I know, what was it, Mason from CNA Games, like a couple of weeks ago or a month ago or whatever, with the big Pokemon stuff that's, still going on. But anyways, he was buying collections and sealed, well, it was sealed product, I think anywhere from 70 to 80% of market value, So, like, there are times where you can get that, but most often, guys, you're not going to get the full value. You're not going to get 90%. You're not going to get 80%. 75 to 70%, now you're kind of talking reasonable. Again, if there are heavily sought after pieces in that collection or whatever stack of cards you're trading in, but that has to be like something that the person buying knows that they can just turn around within 24 hours, flip that shit, make their money back, and it's golden, you know? Otherwise, yeah, you're looking at that 50% mark. Maybe if the owner or someone is feeling generous, you walk in with $100 worth of shit, and dude's like, "I'll give you 50." And you're like, "Man, well, I was really looking for like 60." You know, and that's doable. Like, "Oh no, not an extra 10%." Like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, I can do that here, you know. Transaction done, good." But yeah, your collection isn't really worth what it says. Like, I don't care. You can have $400,000 worth of shit tucked back home in some kind of a shed or some shit. You're not going to get $400,000 for that. You're going to get $200,000, $250,000, somewhere around there for that, because that's just the way shit works. Even if you try to sell it to like Rudy, just as an example, just throwing Taco Man under the bus real quick. Um, Even if you try to sell it to Rudy, he only gives you 60% or 60 cents on the dollar or whatever the hell you want to call it. And that's Rudy. Like, dude's a fucking multi-millionaire and could probably afford to give everyone 90% on the fucking dollar or whatever. 90 cents on the dollar or whatever. But like, no, because your shit's really not worth what it is. And even Rudy's collection, all the fucking millions upon millions of dollars he has just sitting there. Sure, it's worth multi-millions of dollars just sitting there on paper for insurance work. Sure, it's worth that much. But even if he was to try to liquidate it to someone, he wouldn't get 100% secondary market value on that, and he knows that. He's not dumb. By all means, he's not dumb. But, like, he understands the game. And most people do, too. So I'm kind of, like, screaming into the void here. But I think there's a small group of people, maybe some newcomers or something, into the whole TCG world, since Lord knows that's been a thing for the past, like, 2 years, that probably just need to hear that. Just the honest, upfront, your shit is not worth that much, you know? As a generalized statement, your whole collection is not worth exactly what it says on that little app of yours or whatever you're using to track your shit. It's not worth it, okay? And that's just the name of the game with anything collectible or anything like resale wise, actually, because even if you buy a new car for $40,000, as soon as you drive it off the lot, it's worth $22,000. It's just the way shit goes, man. It's weird and doesn't feel all that great, but it just is. Like I said, I've had to sell my collection 5 or 6 times, so I know how it is on you guys' end as well. I just grabbed this and started playing with it. How it is on you guys' end too, but like I said, most of you understand the name of the game, and it's fine. But this is mainly for the newcomers that, you know, actually think they're going to get 100% of their collection value. You're not. You're just not. So, anyways, wanted to poop this video out real quick just because it was on my mind for some strange reason. I was kind of just going through, you know, a small stack of trade-ins that we got. Oh no! Small stack of trade-ins we got and all, and like, I don't know. It just made me kind of think. So yeah, I just wanted to rehash that subject. Anyways, I got to get off of here. We open in like 4 minutes. So yeah, famous line. You know, life is not a dick. You don't have to take it so hard. You're a trash can, not a trash can't. I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, share, sub, all that good stuff. And yeah, you guys be safe out there. Have a good one. And talk to you in the next video.